Introducing a new podcast. Karen Hunter is awesome.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. So check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.
Karen Hunter is awesome. A new podcast from Karen Hunter.
Let's go to Nick in Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Karen Hunter Show. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Karen? What's up, Rod?
What's up?
Man, y'all on fire today. I have to say,
Okay.
I was personally offended when the NFL went out of their way on a Wednesday to try to step on Christmas. That was that didn't feel right, and I wasn't gonna watch anyway. But I'm so happy that they have the highest, apparently some record-breaking ratings for the NBA because all of those games are amazing. So. Yeah, that was fantastic. But yeah, NFL, that's kind of funky. That's why they got 2 of the games.
They had two trash games from what I saw, with the blowouts. The only thing they had going for them was Beyonce, and I refused to watch because it came on Netflix, put that out as a special. Right. They put it out on their own with just Beyonce, no football. But it was a dirty thing because NBA, for as long as I've lived, has been the Christmas sports that we watch. And I'm glad that LeBron and Stephen went off.
Yeah. And the NFL so damn greedy for that, man. Cause like I have a big bone to pick with the NFL and specifically because of how people been talking about the NBA this year with the ratings. One, most people don't start watching NBA till Christmas. And everybody knows that, and it's the same way every year. So I don't like that. Two, I don't like the paternalistic talking about the Black League. Like, let us tell you how to change your game so people will watch it. Don't shoot threes. Do this, do that. Like, they've been doing stuff like this my whole life with the NBA. Every year is some reason the black game not the right way. They foul too much. They not fouling enough. They shoot too much. They call too many fouls. It's like, dog, just chill out. These are professionals playing at the best in the world. I promise you they thought about it longer than you did, okay? I don't know what makes you feel like missing a long two is so much different than missing a three-pointer, but it's really not if you sit down and watch the game. The other part of it is the NFL product, it does need somebody to sit down and have a talk. It's really falling off. I've been saying this since Kaepernick, by the way, because like I respect the righteous. Like I got friends that like righteously, I'm just not watching the game. And I said, cool, I respect that. But it's a lot of people that just not watching the NFL because it's not as good as it used to be. And it's just and I'm one of them that I'm not boycotting the NFL. But I watch way less than I used to. I'll be falling asleep on it. The team's not as good. They play in 17 weeks now. Why? It's a hard game to play already. Now they playing on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's not it's not basketball. You can't be playing NFL games 3 days apart, which is what they're doing. And then you wonder why it's crap on a Wednesday because your body can't recover from being in a car crash in 3 days and also play well 3 days later. So like, I wish people would talk about that. They're playing games at 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning out of pure greed in another country that don't like football and will never put their kids into programs where they're going to grow up to be NFL players. So why the hell are we in Europe? That doesn't even make sense. Basketball is the one that's an international sport that you could play a game in Europe and those kids will see LeBron James or Michael Jordan or whatever, and they're going to grow up and want to be Luka Doncic. Like that's the sport that's international. That's right. NFL is not that. It's American nationalism, and it has black players, but it does not have black culture. I'm protective of the NBA because it's the league that has black culture. It might have your white governors, it might have a white commissioner, but intrinsically the power of that league comes from blackness. It's the league where you can be a black player like LeBron James and Steph Curry, and I actually know that they don't like Trump. That can't happen in the NFL.
And coaches, because Steve Carroll and Popovich,
they don't like him.
Yes,
and no other league is free like that. And so I'm protective of the NBA in that way because so when I hear the like ratings, pearl clutching, I get a little upset because I'm like, man, the NFL is giving us trash. Also, low key, their ratings are down. No one's talking about it. Their local ratings have plummeted. No one's talking about it. I think not to get too woke, but it feels like it's some type of
no, get woke. Stay woke, Roderick, because it's racist, right?
Yeah, it feels racist to me.
Yeah, that said, though, the NBA does need to tighten up in several areas. Number one, no more nepotism. If your child can't play, I don't want to see him.
I was early on this. I remember the first day we talked about this. What was that?
Because what it does is it cheapens the integrity of the game. It makes me not want to. I don't want to watch your son, because you're teeing him up, and he's not ready. And never. It's okay.
I'm a big LeBron fan. Might be his biggest fan. That what. But I remember when they was talking about this last summer, and it was making it seem like people that sounded like me was haters. And I'm like, I'm not hating on this man or his son. But do y'all understand what y'all are saying when you say, like, if it was my son, I'd give him a job in the NBA? Hey, man, we've been fighting against that idea the whole time. Like, it's not okay just because it's a black person. Like, well, let's put an unqualified person in a position because they black. No, what makes black nepotism cool is that black people always be overqualified and don't get a chance. So by the time somebody like looks over to you and goes, you know what? I think you could do this job. You actually can do that job. Like that vast majority of the time you can do that job. So I never liked this. I always thought it was kind of whack. And I also didn't think it was good for Bronny because look how people been talking about him.
Yes.
He's had to talk about his mental health. I knew how people were going to react to this. And like I said, at the time I got called a hater, but now all this ridicule he done faced, I think we can kind of say like, was this really worth it?
No, and I'm going to say it wasn't. But the other thing, and I'm a backtrack, this is something that I was okay with, but now I realized the thing that made me love basketball was that I got to root for teams, whether it was Julius Erving 76ers with Maurice Cheeks and Fo, and all, and Charles Barkley later, whether it was the Lakers and Showtime and James Worthy and of course Kareem and Magic. Like there were teams, the bad boys of Detroit, the Boston Celtics. I got to hate that team for a long time because people just couldn't do what Katie did. And one of the things I really hated about Katie moving from team to team to try to find a ring was just, it was undermining the very sportsmanship. It's the competitive thing that you want to beat your rival. Yeah. You want to be a competitive person. Now, I felt like LeBron going to Miami was a little different, but it wasn't, if I think about it, because my thing was always, he want to know Boobie Gibson. He shouldn't have to play with Boobie Gibson.
That's right. But you want to know what killed it for, and it's not the players' fault on this. It was us. And by us, I mean NBA fans who got on that narcotic of Michael Jordan. We turned everybody into not Michael Jordan. And that was a problem because even during Michael Jordan's day, we could appreciate other players. Like we didn't take nothing. Like it was like, yeah, Michael Jordan beat you, but we still talk about Charles Barkley as one of the ones. Like we don't talk about him. Like we're like, he never won a ring, but then we're like, because of Michael Jordan. Like we don't say, he never won a ring because he was sorry, because he was never one of the one. But we started doing that, tearing down a lot of people's legacy. And LeBron was, to me, like right at Kobe was number one for the like, you ain't no Michael Jordan. And then LeBron was that got that treatment times 10, where it was like when he was a rookie, people was already on some like, he ain't no Michael Jordan. It's like, let the brother breathe. He just want to be LeBron.
18,
right. And I think low key, our environment created ring hopping, it created KD doing that move. It created LeBron feeling pressure to get the hell out of Cleveland, even though I think that was justified. Whether the Jordan
that's why I said I put him in a different category. I will never really forgive KD for doing that. Right. But then we look at a Giannis who's in Milwaukee and he's staying.
Yeah. And but peep Giannis though. Giannis has won one ring, right? Last year, he already started the like, man, or 2 years ago, man, we lost. Hey, we just had fun playing, and it's not really about that. Y'all need to trade some people off this team if y'all want me to resign. They made the trade. This season, he said, if we don't win a ring, they may look to trade me, which everybody in the world know. Milwaukee Bucks will never look to trade Giannis. what he is saying is, I'm gonna want to get out of here if we don't win a ring. So even Giannis is feeling that pressure from us, from the way media talks about it of this, like, but he ain't got no 6 rings. And I think it's been very destructive, and we're starting to see it now. I think LeBron wouldn't be playing at 40 if it wasn't for like so many people trying to tell him he doesn't belong in the conversation with Michael Jordan. If we would have just said, you know what, 1A, hey, some people might pick you, some people might pick, he probably would retire at 35. Like, cool, I did what I needed to do. But instead, we like, you only got 4 rings. Michael Jordan has 6. And so he gonna be here 47, still shooting threes, figuring it out.
And still being the best player on the team. Oh, he's
Right,
still
that's crazy.
He's still
That's
good
crazy.
though. I mean,
know.
he's not Kareem. I remember Kareem at the end of
Me
his
too.
career, the high scorer. When Magic came, Magic was the best person on the team.
Right.
LeBron's still like the best person on his team because he's playing with somebody that likes to be in street clothes all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And low key, Chuck and Shaq, they be so hard on these dudes, but they did a little bit of ring hopping at the end too. So
yeah, well,
like,
definitely. Charles was really trying because he's sitting there with Kenny. Kenny got a ring.
Yep.
It's hard to sit there. Kenny got a ring.
Yeah.
Well,
I remember Charles in Phoenix, one of my favorite teams, and I also remember him going to Houston with the old school dream team that was not gonna happen. Them boys was old. And then I also remember Shaq in the Celtics gear. You know, Shaq went to the Heat, guy with Dwayne Wade. Like they be real harsh on these dudes now. But I'm like, y'all, Shaq wasn't driving the bus in Miami. Dwayne Wade was the one that got that Finals MVP. It is what it is.
Correct. So speaking of LeBron, Bryce, who I think is the better could possibly make it to the NBA legitimately. Right. He is committed to the University of Arizona for the class of 2025. He's 17. He made the announcement on Instagram. I think he should go to college. I think he should go to college, not like his brother went to college. I think he should go and play, win a couple of championships. Like, where is that? You know, I remember Bibby and Steph Curry playing for that team, making it to the, I think, the final 16 or something, Elite 8 or whatever. But they played in college, you know, and we got to really enjoy. Will we ever see another Fab Five? Will we ever see another, you know, team of high school kids that go into college together and win a championship? Can we get to that? Like,
no, because well, you know, I take that back. That's not fair. We can, if the government gets on this job and comes in and regulates this NIL stuff. Somebody got to get on their job, because right now it's the Wild West. It's basically professional sports for kids, and there's no real rules. And I don't know if you saw, but there's a lawsuit this week where the basketball coach for FSU is getting sued by 5 players because he promised them money and he didn't deliver. Like, correct.
I saw that. Yeah,
that is not what college sports used to be. And I do want the kids to get paid, but the fact that it's unregulated doesn't really mean the kids are being treated as employees or getting paid. It just means people are promising things, signing contracts that may or may not be enforceable. So if that comes back, where the government comes in, we might get something like that, because that's really what it is. Coaches actually need some leverage. Like coaches, I know how people feel because they went too far the other way, but real talk, coaches need to be able to tell a kid no, and that kid don't immediately just, I'm going to another school. Part of what all of us, every one of us that's listening to the sound of my voice, if you're above a certain age, an adult somewhere had some authority in your life and told you no to something that if you had your druthers, you would have just did it your way and said F that. But you learned something from them saying no. It was a no you needed. And it's the no that's making you better today. It's like, oh, I learned that lesson. I learned that I actually could work harder in the offseason, come back next year and earn my starting spot, as opposed to walk in and be like, y'all better give me a starting spot and I want $1 million. There's something to it. But the coaches have lost that leverage, and I think that's what we're seeing. So when you say, will we see that? We won't see it until somebody steps in, because right now, you tell a kid you're not starting. You look at Chris Webber and them and say, y'all should come back next year and we should run this thing back. Oh, okay. I'm going to the NBA. Bye. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it's tough. And it makes it, you know, and part of me, I'm happy because we need to kind of move away from these gladiator games. There's a lot of serious stuff about to happen, and we need the escape, but this is escape at the benefit of very, very rich people who don't necessarily F with us. So I don't want to keep putting money in the pockets of people that might not be messing with us.